just assumed I'd play the part of keeping you in the right direction. No matter how your confidence may fall, I'll be here as your foundation. And I say, hey, yo, just let it go. Your struggles won't remain. And I say, hey, yo, we're holding hope and wake up yesterday. So hold on to me. Hold on to me. Hold on to me. Please don't wait here until your faith is shaken. There's a whole lot of good on your mind and on my mind. And I know that right now I'd like to play the part to rebuild you one more time. And I say, hey, yo, just let it go. Your struggles won't remain. And I say, hey, yo, we're holding hope and wake up yesterday. So hold on to me. Hold on to me. Hold on to me. Hold on. who I'm meant to be. I am who I'm meant to be. Over and out again. My future needed clarity, so I could see how you react, how you'd react to me. So much differently, I am different. Every time that I look back, I see my fortune. Would you react to me? We are reacting so much differently. Doubted all that I could do, knowing what I need to do. All I can say, the word is thank you. I think it's what you need to push away from the shore, amongst the waves, exactly where I wanna be. I am where I wanna be. Remember the start, when my future needed clarity.
All right, and I think we are live currently. We are loading into Austria right now for Season 3 HPR Racing, Round 8 of Tier 2 here in Spielberg. So this should be a fun one. This will be just me solo tonight on the comms, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how he's looking at it. Mike is on vacation currently, so it's just going to be me, but this should be a fun one. We do have a relatively full lobby here. We've got 15 guys ready to go on the grid, which I believe is just about on par with what we had in the sign-up sheet this week. And we do definitely have some mix-ups to account for in terms of the overall standings. So as per usual here, as we load in to the qualifying session, which appears to be like a dry session. It looks like a little hazy out. Maybe there's a chance of rain. I don't have the forecast myself, but I'd be curious to see what the drivers are seeing. But, as per usual, while we wait for these guys to fire up their engines and get out on track for their qualifying laps, I'll quick review the standings from last week. So as it stands, Born Ready still holds his position in first place in the Drivers' Championship. With that being said, he was not around to race last week, so he did have a couple guys move up a little bit closer, narrowing down that gap, including Captain Clapjack and Jasbo now within striking distance of that P1 position. So Born Ready will certainly be looking to defend once again today in Spielberg. With that being said, we'll take a quick look at the constructor standings as well, because quite interestingly enough, with Born Ready gone, the Kick Sauber team has actually now fallen down to P3, now given it's very close, but it's the Alpine team that has actually jumped up into first with 130 points. Red Bull Racing very close behind at the 119 mark, and then Kick Sauber still in the fight at 110. So we have a shake-up in the top three. I'm sure the respective drivers of these teams will be looking to add to those point totals today. With that being said, we'll take a look at who's out on track here and who's going to be on their flyer first. I had to guess it's going to be Elon Rogan, as it always is. The man, the myth, the legend, and always the first one to run his qualifying lap. So we'll take a look at some quick times here. Of course, Austria being one of, if not the shortest track on the calendar, only accounts for 10 total turns. We do have 3 DRS zones. And a lot of room for error, even despite it being such a simple track on paper. It's one of those tracks that's really easy to learn, but equally difficult to master. So every little last ounce of grip you can get out of these cars is going to make a difference, especially here in the qualifying session. And I can assure you that these guys are going to need every last hundredth of a second to move their way up the grid order. So Elon Rogan makes his way into Sector 2, coming around a very important turn 5 and 6, I believe. Very high-speed corners, very important to try to keep it tight to the apex there. But he is flying, of course, putting up purple sectors to start. First one on track. And then finally, the last couple corners, 9 and 10 here, also incredibly high speed. Need to be careful not to go too wide and get the track limits violation. He keeps it within the lines and puts up a 106. That'll be our benchmark to start here. Looks like this is Don Duch coming around with his first flying lap. 106.0, so he moves up a little bit above Elon Rogan. Claptrack goes a 105.466, so he drops down another 0.6 of a second. AK3000 sandwich in between the two. 105.89, another 105.89, actually very close to AK with 6 char. AGOG comes through the 106.3. Peak hour of the 106.3 as well. So the field's still pretty bunched up, even though we've only had 7 drivers cross the line here. So LK goes on 114. That might have just been a little bit of a warm-up lap. He might have aborted that midway through. I'm going to go ahead and pull up our ERS right now just to see just how hard he's pushing the car here. Looks like he may have gone that wasn't a purple sector one, but I believe he is flying here. I could be wrong. His DRS, or excuse me, his ERS is remaining somewhat stagnant there, unless he's saving it for the last couple straights here. So LK appears to be on his flyer. Johnny Damon, the X Factor in the league currently, debuted last weekend, or excuse me, last Thursday, I should say. I always feel like the Thursdays are already the weekend. I wish that was the case. Johnny Damon comes in for his first race in Tier 2 of HPR, and he wins it. So, really throwing a wrench at the possibilities here. We've seen Clapjack, we've seen Born Ready, we've seen Jazzbo all fighting for the top position. And now they have a new contender to deal with accordingly. So Johnny Damon will be looking to put up a good lap. He's certainly, it looks like he might be on his out lap here. 30 Asian also making his way around the final corner, a little bit over the line there. Hopefully that did not disqualify his upcoming lap. Born Ready appears to be flying, and he's going to go ahead and put up the pole position as of now with a 105.2, so he's quite a ways ahead of the rest of the pack, minus Clapjack with a 105.4. I imagine we're going to see these times start to get closer and closer here as the session timer ticks down. Dirty Asian looks like he may have gone a little wide there. He might be getting out of the way for this, what appears to be a Red Bull. With the custom liveries, sometimes it's a little bit hard to tell who's who. So Straggly just rejoining there. Peak hour appears to be wrapping up his hot lap. Keeping it in the track limits. He's going to come across, looks like about a 106 or so, 105.9. That's going to put him into P5. So pretty solid lap all around. Sammy Cush, one of the few who has not completed a lap. It would appear they're almost certainly going to be starting up their first hot lap of the day. So we'll check in with them here in a second. Reddy's not on a flyer there, doesn't look like. Dirty Asian, once again puts up 131, but I think that was just the lap he went a little wide, so he's giving it another shot here, has enough fuel in the tank. We do have a caution in Sector 1 and 2. One looks to be just a car moving out of the way. I believe both of these situations are just cars getting out of the way. We'll take a look at Sammy Cush once again. Appears to be committing to this flyer. Still deploying their ERS, keeping it tidy through here. A lot of different zones. Again, despite being such a simple track on paper, there's so many different areas where you're at huge risk to hit track limits. So I'd be surprised. Oh, and there you go. See, right as I say that, Sammy goes just over the outside of that turn 10 there, and that will be a disqualification for that lap. Fortunately, they have plenty of battery left, so I'd imagine they're going to go ahead and let it rip once again. Dirty Asian's going to come around. This looks like they're maybe improving a little bit. I mean, their improvement won't matter too much. They're going to still be at the back of the grid for now. And they are going to be out of fuel, so they're going to have to come in, and there's going to be a lot of pressure there on that last flying lap to get something done. Here comes Straggly Rex, so the 106.3 drops 4/10, moves him up to P9, so he's now in the top 10. Surveying around here, seeing who we've got going on. Born Ready. Of course, we'll be looking to get into that 104 range, which Captain Clapjack has indeed already done. Looks like they might be saving up for their hot lap coming up shortly. So many laps happening here at once. Dirty Asian's going to bail out of that. Like I said, looks like they're out of fuel. He got with a very nice livery. I'm assuming that's a Haas. He's going to be making his way around. He's certainly on his flyer. He is absolutely ripped through that battery, but he's only down to the last couple corners, so we'll see what kind of time he puts up. Meanwhile, Johnny Damon, I missed that lap, goes a 104.8. Now he has taken that provisional pole position by just about 1/10 of a second. So the 104s are going to be the mark. Agag drops 7/10. He's down to 105.6. It moves him up to 6th place. Sammy Cush on their official first flyer that was not disqualified. They keep it in the lines this time, and they're going to cross here. I don't know if they're going to be too happy with that time, but they do have a time on the board. The agent's getting out of the way there. I thought for a second he may have had a spill. Johnny Damon's going to go ahead and head back into the pits. He has no reason to hit another flying lap on those same set of tires on that 104.8. So he's looking good, though. I mean, the 104s are going to be tough to get to. I could certainly see Clapjack or Born Ready get into that benchmark. And potentially even some of these, maybe Peak Hour Jaspo certainly has the potential to get up in the 104s. Certainly, it's going to be close. I mean, again, being such a short track. The gap between first all the way to last will not be nearly as large as we may see in some other tracks this season. AK is on hot lap currently. So we'll take a look on his onboard here. There's not too many people out on track, although it looks like 6char may also be. No, he's not. So AK, on the other hand, is going to be on his hot lap. Everyone else is going to be wrapping up their first rounds, getting on a new set of tires, refueling for this last few minutes of the qualifying session. Turn, I believe this is turn 5. Very high speed. You just got to be just a little careful not to go too wide. You might lose a little time there. Exit out of turn 6 is crucial. Keeping it within the lines there. I know it's really tempting to hit that curve, but too many times have I seen other drivers, including myself, get disqualified there. Around turn 10 he goes, keeps it in the lines. He's going to be putting up here 106.2, no improvement. So he remains in P8. He's still in the top 10. So Donduch appears he is on a hot lap. However, he has a ton of battery left. So I'm not sure if he's going to go for back-to-back hot laps. Doesn't improve there. So this might be his official hot lap, I'd imagine. So we'll check in on him here shortly. Looks like he's actually the only one on a hot lap, so he will get full camera time now. And he actually bailed out of it. My guess would be he may have disqualified on that first turn. Another really easy spot to do it. Again, these drivers just pushing the cars so hard that when you're really getting down to the margins of these corners, it is so easy to get over those track limits. I would be absolutely shocked if we didn't see a plethora of track limit penalties come during the race. Okay, appears to be flying here, so we'll take a look at his onboard. Going into what I believe is turn 4, pretty much the only slow speed corner on the track. One of the more popular areas to go for the overtake, although I'd imagine turn 3 is going to be where we see the vast majority of excitement here tonight. Okay, makes his way into sector 3. Using that battery very efficiently. He sits at 20% in the last couple corners. He should be able to just go into the pits. Alright, never mind. He bails out of that, unless he'd already done a hot lap. I may have already seen that. Sorry guys, just trying to keep track of everyone here. Straggly Rex will be on their hot lap. Pretty nice exit there out of turn 4. Sitting at about 24% battery, but he's going to keep pounding at it. Nice exit there out of 5. Where you really make the money here is going to be on these last couple corners. How aggressive are you willing to go without risking a disqualification? He keeps it pretty conservative here, but he does manage his battery quite well. He's going to use up the last 5% here on the final straight. He drops another 4/10, so that puts him at a 105.9. So AK's on their hot lap. Let me take a quick look. Peak hour as well. Born Ready is going to be getting ready for their next hot lap as well. So we'll keep an eye on peak hour. He's actually the furthest down the track so far. Appears to be going pretty well here. He's down to 13%. He's committed to the lap. It's that nice wide turn into turn 10, and he is going to be burning the rest of that fuel. He does improve, only by about 1/100 of a second, so no movement on the board, but he does improve. AK will head back to the pits. Straggly Rex doesn't appear to be flying here. Pretty Asians just getting out of the way, it would appear. A little bit of traffic starting to build up around this first DRS zone. So we've got a lot of guys getting ready for their flyer. I just realized I had the standings up that whole time. Better late than never, I suppose. But either way, it gives you a good idea of what we're looking at today in terms of our overall standings. By now, I'm sure everyone studied that. Let's take a look at... So Claptrap is on their hot lap. Born Ready, again, appears to be saving it for one more lap. I'm not sure if he bailed out or maybe went over the lines there. Claptrap's certainly looking for an improvement here. He's keeping it real nice. A lot of speed carried around that. Turn 9 into turn 10. Just enough battery to finish off the lap nicely. He drops down to 104.8. It puts him in provisional pole. Just barely edges out Johnny Damon, but he gets it done. Only 4/100ths of a second of a difference, but he managed. So there you go. We have a new pole sitter for the time being. Born Ready will be starting his hot lap. Very clean through turn 1. Going to be deploying that DRS, getting the maximum top speed here. Really tight braking zone, but he keeps it very clean. Pretty good exit there out of turn 3. He's looking good so far. I'm not sure exactly what his delta is relative to that pole position 104.8 as it stands. A little bit of traffic here. Hopefully this doesn't cause any problems with Born Ready to get out of the way. It's just down to his last bit of battery here, but the lap's going well so far. really tight around that last corner there. Gets a good launch, and he's going to go ahead and put up a 104.916. No improvement from Born Ready. Quick take a look at Johnny Damon. Will be fighting for that pole position. So close in the top 3 here. Comes down to every last inch of track that you can find. Johnny Damon, that's one of the better exits out of turn 10 we've seen tonight. And he gets it done with the 104.637. Drops down 0.2. Might not sound like a lot, but on a track like Austria, 0.2 can be hard to come by, so he gets it done. So the timer has hit 0. We are now on to our final laps. Anyone who has started a lap by now will get to finish it. Don Duch is going to be coming around. Jazzbo moves up, it appears, into P4. He drops 0.4. Quick look here. Everyone's on their flyer. Everyone's going to be moving, hopefully, here. Agog makes his way. Very nice exit out of turn 10, and he puts up the 104.26. So there you go. Agog moves up to P5. He's now on the 3rd row of the grid, unless Don Duch has something to say about it. Don Duch does improve by 0.003 of a second. Remains in the same place on the grid. LK still has a lap to finish here. Be a little slow out of turn 10. He may have lost a little bit of time there. He does indeed improve anyway. So he's at the 105.5. I believe that's a wrap. Looks like everyone's wrapped up their laps here. So just to recap here, Johnny Damon gets it done on his final flying lap. 104.63 is the benchmark. That is the pole position for today's race. Flapjack not far behind at the 104.8. And then very close behind him would be Born Ready at the 104.88. So really, the usual suspects in the top 3, maybe not Johnny Damon, given he's only raced once, but being a 1-for-1 race winner, no major surprise to see him up at the top. And Jazzbo not too far behind, only about 2.5 tenths behind Born Ready, and he'll be on that same row on the starting grid. So this is going to be interesting. As most people know, here in Austria, that turn 1 off the gun is going to be a major changing point, likely for a lot of these drivers. Hopefully we can keep it clean, but the inside line will be attacked almost without a doubt, especially from these drivers that are sitting on the inside of the grid off the start here. With a good start, you might be able to squeak your way around the inside. We're going to have to watch out to make sure no drivers go too wide. We don't see anyone locking up on those cold tires to start the race. So again, sorry about keeping up those standings for the majority of that that qualifying session, but at least we also saw, maybe in small format, the live stream as well. So now we'll have about a 3-minute break, as per usual, just giving everyone some time to modify their race strategies. Modify their. I believe you can modify your tire pressures. Your front wing, of course, your fuel load, and starting tire, which we'll take a quick look. Looks like everyone by default is being placed on the mediums, but I'd be curious to see who decides to stray away from the default strategy. Not having raced here in this season yet, I should say, not quite sure what the degradation will look like. I'd imagine it's going to be a very racy kind of track, so odds of an incident, odds of a safety car, I'd say are pretty high, for better or worse, which is going to definitely throw a wrench at most of these strategies that these guys are going to be running off of. So it wouldn't surprise me to see most of these guys starting on the medium or soft. I'm just not sure what kind of degradation we'll see. Now, with this track being so short, we're also going to certainly see, I believe, the most amount of laps, at least out of a 50% race of the season, other than maybe Monaco, which I don't believe we're racing. So it's going to be a very long race. Now, there are going to be, there probably, I might have to look this up, but I'm just thinking about the time it takes to pit. I know Austria, it has to be one of the faster pit lanes in terms of the overall length of the pit lane. It's pretty straightforward. There's not really much of a run-in or a run-off. which will also, come into play when it comes to strategy here. Now, another element to think about too, when you have such a short track and you have a pretty wide range of, overall pace from these drivers, we're going to definitely see some blue markers, some blue flags, most likely, which can, again, benefit or, in some cases even hurt some of the drivers up front, depending on who's getting the DRS tow and making sure there's no one getting in the way, no one blocking. So it's a fun track. I have mixed feelings about it, maybe because I'm not that good at it, but it is certainly a fun one. Like I said, very easy to learn, hard to master. Setup's going to definitely have a play in this one. It's just really going to boil down to who can manage their tire temperatures and who can manage their tire degradation. So probably about another minute here till we start. While we wait for that, I will take a quick look. If anyone has elected to go onto the softs, it looks like we have only one variation, which is going to be AK. Who's going to be starting on the hards. Might be looking to make up some positions, get some good track position early in the race. Especially if there is any sort of incident, we have anyone come into the pits early, he might be able to take advantage of that with those hard tires. Should last him for probably give or take 50 to 60% of the race. It looks like we are ready to get underway here. We have 3, 4, 5 red lights, and we are off. It's going to be hard to keep track of some of these cars with these new liveries. 4 wide there in the back. It looks like Johnny Damon will retain first place going around the first corner. We have some movement. It looks like may have been 6-char Don Duch, I believe. It looks like 6-char may have had an incident off the start there. Johnny Damon does keep it clean around the first corner. He makes it around the outside there to hold that first place position. Clapjack holding close behind, as well as Born Ready. So the top 3 remains in the same starting order that they were off the grid. No major movement here. Jasbo holds behind in P4, maintains his position there. Along with Peak Hour, I believe LK had started in 6th as well. Excuse me, so Peak Hour and LK had actually moved up, and I believe that must have been Agog who moved down 9 places, so there was some sort of incident. Looks like the 3 who got the short end of the stick there were Don Duch, Agog, and 6-char. So certainly not the best start for these guys, but it's so early. We have 36 laps here. Johnny Damon comes across the line with a 109 off a cold start there. Tentative fastest lap. I'm sure we'll see that time plummet here with a rolling start. So up at the top 4, unsurprisingly, we've got the 3 contenders for the Drivers' Championship, but they're all backed up behind Johnny Damon, who is at this point going to be showing the best pace based on their qualifying time. A little bit of a lockup into turn 4. No one's able to make any moves. We do have DRS active. If I had to guess, we're most likely going to be seeing action into turn 3. Although there are 3 DRS zones, so depending on which drivers are keeping it clean and which are making mistakes, we could certainly see more of a mix-up in some of these unconventional places on the track. Jasbo is all over the rear diffuser of Born Ready. Born Ready's fallen out of DRS range from Clapjack, so I'd imagine we're going to see Jasbo go on the attack here. Can't get it done in this first DRS zone, which he's peeking on the inside there. He's gone wheel to wheel. So he's going to get it done. Born Ready goes wide, but there was no contact. It would appear Jasbo left him enough room there. Peak Hour gets by Born Ready as well, both of which, he had the DRS as well as Jasbo. Born Ready not getting the benefit of that DRS. Now he is going to be back into a DRS zone now after that detection zone. Still very bunched up here. We have Peak Hour now joining the party up in the top 5. LK is not far behind here in P6. He's still in the DRS range, followed by Straggly Rex. So really we have a train now formed from about P3 down to P7. Jazzbo's going to be looking to get back into the fight for first, and as I say that, looks like Clapjack has made the move past Johnny Damon. Clapjack has been a race leader quite often this season. Maybe not a race winner as often as he'd like, but certainly has the pace to get it done. Born Ready, our championship leader, coming off of a week-long break there, not being present last week. Looking to keep that lead. He's only up by about 16 points total. And he sits in P5 currently. He is going to be looking to make some moves. He's going to take the inside there around Peak Hour. Peak Hour really can't do too much but defend the inside. He doesn't have the DRS. He's going to have to give that position up, so he gets pushed back down to P5. Jazzbo has now fallen 2.5 seconds, about 2.6 seconds behind the leaders Johnny Damon and Clapjack. But at the same time, Jazzbo does not have any DRS advantage currently. Let's take a quick look here. It looks like Don Duch is in pretty good attacking position over AK here. Excuse me, AK is going to be looking at the rear of Elon. Don Duch and Sammy Kush very close behind. So another little DRS train forming up here. No matter, will AK have the launch or the exit here to get it done into turn 3? Meanwhile, Jazzbo makes his way past Born Ready. It looks like Born Ready and Jazzbo are fighting. We'll take a look at that here shortly. The launch out of turn 3. AK is going to be getting attacked, but he's going to be able to defend it off. Not quite, actually. I ate my words there. Don Duch makes the inside move and moves up into P9. Captain Clapjack and Johnny Damon are exchanging blows early here. Clapjack back into the lead. It looks like they may have gone back and forth there a little bit. Take this down for the time being. Real quick, we'll take a look at that inside move. Certainly did not see that coming. He made it kind of late there, but he got it done pretty cleanly. Door was open and he walked right through it. Not a bad little overtake there. Johnny Damon has taken the lead, but is under attack by Clapjack immediately. Oh, it's going to be really tough through this second sector and into turn 5 and 6. Not really too many opportunities for an overtake. I'm sure he'll be waiting for that DRS zone once again through sector 3. So it's like LK makes a move around Don Duch, and Don Duch falls down quite a bit into P11. He went into the gravel trap there, rejoins the track, it would appear. Loses a handful of positions there, so not sure if there's any contact being made. LK's sliding around a little bit. Those tires might be a little warm. We see Peak Hour on the rear of Jazzbo. Jazzbo can't make moves on Born Ready, so we have another big DRS train here. This one has pretty much maintained... The gaps here have maintained about the same distance as they were at the beginning of the race. They just seem to keep going back and forth. Peak Hour is going to be looking to make a move almost 3 wide there. Both cars with DRS. He's not going to get it done. He's going to go ahead and back out. May have been a little dangerous. It's probably a wise call from Peak Hour to keep it clean there and keep the boys racing. Johnny Damon gives up the position. Going into what looks to be turn 4, Captain Clapjack takes the lead once again. So everyone's still bunched up. Now, with that being said, Straggly Rex was a little wide there, but he's going to maintain. Still about half a second behind. No major worries there. So we'll see if Johnny Damon can get it done once again, and whether he decides to go for it here on turn 1 or he waits for this second DRS zone. Great launch there. I'd be shocked if he doesn't go for the move. Captain Clapjack's going to be left to decide which side he wants to defend. It looks like he's going to go on the outside. But he doesn't get it done. So Johnny Damon remains close behind. Doesn't get it done there. Meanwhile, Jazbo gets the move done around turn 3. Just around the outside. Born Ready is going to keep fighting for that position. There's not too much he can do about it now. But he's, again, right on the rear of Jazbo. Now, for the top 2 leaders here, this is going to be good news, because now they're up to almost 5 seconds of a lead. We all know the pace that Born Ready has, so him getting held up at this point is a blessing in disguise for Johnny Damon. Maybe not so much for Born Ready, if you ask him. That's going to give Captain Clapjack a great opportunity, as well as Damon, to get this race win. See the rear of our second DRS train here. Let's take a look if anyone can make a move. Who has the battery? Who has the better exit here out of turn 1 to make the move? So already we're seeing Born Ready moving up into the back of Jazbo. It doesn't look like he's going to quite have the speed to get it done. And the train continues. LK is going to be hit with a 3-second penalty. It looks like AK also was. Elon Rogan's going to make a move around the outside of Sammy Cush. Sammy Cush is going to be probably looking to defend that. I can't tell from this camera angle here. Doesn't get it done though. So Elon makes a nice move there. Moves up to P8. Ooh, and there we go, on the inside of turn 9. Pretty scary place to go for an overtake there, but it looks like he's just about going to get it done. Who's going to get the DRS advantage? It looks like it's going to be Born Ready. So they're going 3 wide, damn near, into turn 1. Born Ready backs out. Peak Hour gets the advantage. Goes a little wide there. And once again, we're about 3 wide coming into turn 3. So, man, these guys are fighting hard. Jazbo's hit with a 3-second time penalty. That's certainly going to hurt. Peak Hour moves up beyond Straggly Rex. I couldn't even see what was happening there. There's so much stuff going on. Elon Rogan also makes a move. We do have a caution in Sector 2. I don't see anyone. Looks like we might have someone off track. So it's going to be LK. It looks like he may have gotten turned around. He's going to be looking to get control of that car once again. Looks like Sammy Cush may have been involved as well. Both of them have fallen back quite a ways. Looking at 8 seconds behind Matthew in P11. So may have been a little bit of an altercation there. They're going to have some making up to do. Real quick, we'll take a quick look at that inside move by Born Ready, who does get it done pretty cleanly, actually. It's just a pretty dangerous place to go for an overtake there. And going 3 wide into turn 1. Born Ready makes the wise call, though, to back out there. Not worth the risk. Peak Hour does get the advantage off the gun there, but as it stands, Peak Hour has fallen now behind Straggly Rex and Jazbo and Born Ready. Straggly Rex now a 1.5 seconds behind Jazbo. He's fallen out of that DRS range. So I'm sure he's going to be quickly trying to get back in range. Ooh, okay, so we have Don Duch. Looks like he went for a move. May have been AK he was overtaking there. May have pushed him off the road a little bit there. AK goes into the gravel. Peak Hour certainly getting a little aggressive here. Wants to get by Straggly Rex as soon as possible. who has now pulled it down to a second gap to Jasbo, looking to kind of reattach to that train. Peak Hour gets it done, goes around the inside of turn 1, and he's going to move up. Not quite, he actually doesn't get the launch from the inside line to hold that position, and now he's out of DRS. The Strawberry Rex will hold that position. While all these battles are going, top 2 continue to pull away almost a full 10 seconds ahead. They're keeping it very close. Jasbo gets by Born Ready into turn 4, goes around the outside. Surely a DRS tug there getting him the advantage. Born Ready, on the other hand, will not give up the fight. Says not only does he have to get by Jasbo here, but he's going to have to fight his way back somehow into this race with the top 2, Captain Clapjack and Damon. Now 10 seconds ahead. That's going to be an uphill battle for the remainder of the night. But to even begin, he's going to have to get by Jasbo and somehow find his way out of DRS range to start getting some open, clean track and air. Peak Hour's gaining quite a bit of speed here. Will he go for the move? He took a quick peek at the inside, it looks like, but he's going to go ahead and remain in P6. It's a pretty solid launch there out of the corner. Not enough to get it done. So again, I want to keep an eye on Born Ready. I'm curious to see if he's going to be able to manage this. We're now 13 laps into the race, and he still has not found his way onto a podium position, definitively at least. Jasbo does have the penalty, so as it stands, Born Ready is going to be sitting in 3rd, but he's so far back from the top 2 now. His chances of a race win are dwindling by the minute. Of course, we can't discount any safety car intervention here, but so far it's been relatively clean. We've had a couple drivers take some spills, maybe a couple spins, but no major damage. No one's pitted yet. Can't imagine there's been any wing damage or any other reason thus far to get it done. Picard takes the inside, but again doesn't get it done because he's out of that DRS zone once he passes the detection point. He's going to go for the inside once again, not quite enough. Jasbo and Born Ready continuing to fight it out. He's going to take the inside line there, and they're going to go wheel to wheel. Born Ready playing it safe once again, backs out of the fight. While these two fight, we also have a little fight brewing up back here. Don Duch and Agog fighting for the P9 position, just trying to get some extra points for their respective teams, although they very well could be on the same team. I actually don't have the team sheet in front of me now. Born Ready is hit with a 3-second time penalty, so he is now going to be racing for track position against Jasbo here, as both are equally sitting on that 3-second penalty mark. It's just like Peak Hour is going to be the first contender to hit the pits. So Peak Hour goes ahead and he slaps on a set of hard tires. He's going to be the first to do so, although it would appear that Agog is going to follow suit. Agog also throws on a set of hards, as does Dirty Asian, who at this point is quite a ways back. He's certainly going to be looking for a safety car. But the rest of the grid stays out. Curious to see now. Clapjack looks like they're taking the inside line, so they're going to go ahead and go for the undercut on Johnny Damon. Very quick through the pit lane there. A little bit of grass. I'm sure the maintenance team will appreciate that. He's going to go ahead and, I'd imagine, throw on the hards as well. Just about everyone here who would start on mediums will certainly be hopping onto the hards here soon. So Johnny Damon's going to have to put up a quick lap here if he's going to want to contend with the undercut from Clapjack there. We're now just about halfway through the race, or just under, excuse me. So it would make sense. I'd imagine he's going to be going in this lap. He's locking up there a little bit. Those tires are certainly going to be on their last leg here. Jazbo hops in the pit. Don Duch in the pit. LK in the pit. Sammy Cush in the pit. And Six Chart in the pit. We do have the two hard runners of AK and Matthew, both still on the hards. Of course, they started on the hards, so they'd probably have another 6, 7, 8, maybe even 9 laps left on those hards if they make them last. So I don't expect them to be pitting anytime soon, but the question remains, these medium runners. First and foremost, Johnny Damon makes his way into the pits, keeps it clean, no pit, speed in the pit lane penalty. So through 16 laps, he's going to go ahead and put on the hards. I'm curious to see where he's going to come out here relative to Clapjack. Charlie Rex, Born Ready will both be getting out of the way of Clapjack. But Clapjack looks like he actually may have lost a bit of time there on the early pit stop, or the undercut. He's now out of DRS. He's going to be catching right up to the back of Johnny Damon. Damon's going to still have to warm those tires up. So my guess would be Clapjack may have ran into a bit of traffic there that could have slowed him up. But Clapjack's going to be sitting on the slightly warmer, a little bit more warmed in or worn in tires. He should have a little bit better pace here for the next lap or two while Johnny Damon still fires those up. So penalties are flying. LK gets another penalty. I believe it's his second of the day. So he's going to be sitting at 6 seconds. Double check that real quick. Yep, so the only penalties right now, we do have AK, Born Ready, and Jezebel all at 3 seconds. And then we have the 6 on LK, and then 3 on Dirty Asian. Once again, he's still trying to fight his way back into this race. Captain Clapjack putting up the fastest lap of the day, 106.7. Those tires are certainly looking good for him, and he has now narrowed down the gap under 2/10. He's going to go for the move. Maybe not. He's taking a look at the outside. Changes his mind. Now he's looking at the inside. He's going to go wheel to wheel. Not quite. That angle's pretty deceiving. But he's got a great launch out of turn 3 there. Damon is going to be defending hard. He defends the inside, then kind of dives back out to the outside. Clapjack's going to get it done through the inside there. So nice little maneuver there. Damon doing everything he possibly could to hold up Clapjack, but it seems to me those tires have fallen right into the slot, and Captain Clapjack's feeling good. It's going to be a matter of whether or not he can extend that lead out beyond a second and unhitch himself from the DRS train that is just the sole Johnny Damon. Everyone else is falling out of DRS range, so most people are kind of fighting their own battles here, but Jazbo, on the other hand, is still going to be fighting with Born Ready. These two have not really given each other an inch of space all race here. 19 laps through the race so far. Both sitting on 3-second penalties, so the positions are up for grabs here. There's really nothing keeping either of them from fighting for this podium position. AK has found himself a nice little gap. Oh, nice move there on the outside from Jazbo. So he gets it done very cleanly. But AK, on the other hand, has now worked his way up to about 3-second lead. Now, keep in mind, I believe AK is one of the hard runners. Yes, he is. So it's a matter of time for Jazbo to catch back up to AK on those worn hards. And it's also a matter of when AK is going to be hopping in the pits to throw on a set of mediums. Johnny Damon does fight back for that P1 position, and the two continue to go back and forth at it. If all remains the same, I wouldn't be surprised. Uh-oh, we do have an incident here. It may have been AK. I couldn't quite tell, but AK falls down. He may have made a mistake there. Those tires might not be agreeing with him currently. So AK, that nice lead that he had built on those hards, seems to have completely disappeared. Born Ready and Jazbo will continue to fight it out. Yeah, if all remains the same and everyone's fighting the same way they've been all race, I'd imagine Clapjack and Damon is really going to come down to the final lap at the rate that they're going. They're on the same tires, only about a lap difference between the two. both holding very similar pace. LK now up to 9-second penalty. So he is certainly having some trouble with the track limits. He's not the only one. Born Ready's at 6 seconds as well. So again, going to hurt his opportunity for a podium with that 6-second penalty, assuming nobody else follows suit. Peak Hour is now looking down the barrel of the P5 position. We know AK is still sitting on those hards as well as Peak Hour, but that being said, looks like AK is going to go ahead and head into the pits, I believe. Yes, looks like he is. So AK is going to lose a few spots here, but he's going to get on the fresher medium. He's going to have a bit better pace, I'd imagine, than Peak Hour and the rest of those new hard runners once he gets on this set of mediums. Unless, of course, he went for the wild card call of throwing on the softs, which he won't. That brings AK all the way down to P10, so he's going to have his work cut out for him. But he is on those faster tires, so come lap 30 and beyond, we could see AK making some serious movement up to the top of the field there. So Born Ready really does have to now compete with this time penalty on top of the fact he's still fighting for this final podium position, and there is a 14.5-second gap now between Jazbo and Captain Clapjack. Looks like Johnny Damon has fired up those hards. He has taken over the lead. While I say that, though, Clapjack goes for a move, doesn't get it done. He's going to have another great opportunity here. Great launch coming out of the corner. Looks like neither of them have their DRS flap open. I'm not quite sure what the reasoning for that is. Maybe someone just forgot to activate their DRS. But regardless, they still remain neck and neck through 22 laps here. Take a look at Born Ready's onboard here as he continues to fight against Jazbo. If he can get a good launch out of any of these 3 DRS zones, he'll have a great opportunity to get by. That being said, it'll also certainly come down to what kind of battery he has on his vehicle right now. He has a 70% ERS charge relative to Jazbo's 46, 48. The both of which aren't doing too bad on battery. It seems they're pretty comfortable where they're at. Born Ready may at this point be just saving that battery a little bit, waiting for his moment to attack, coming out of turn 1. He has a great launch. Keeps his ERS on medium, a little bit of overtake usage there. And he gets by, goes on the inside. Very nicely done. And Born Ready is once again by Jazbo. Jazbo's going to get the DRS immediately coming out of the corner there. And we're back into the boxing ring for that P3 position. Born Ready defends the inside. A little bit of a push there to Jazbo on the outside. He keeps it within the track, it would appear. And he holds on to that P3. So the gloves are off. Clapjack now finding himself about 8 tenths behind Johnny Damon. He's certainly going to be looking to fight to stay within that second DRS range. It's going to close up real quick here on the straight. And he's also holding a very healthy 92% ERS deployment battery. LK looks like he was hit with another 3-second penalty. Official Silos has Captain Clapjack for the win today. So Clapjack, if you're watching this, no pressure, man. Jazbo is hit with the 3-second penalty, so now he is also competing with the 6-second time penalty. Once again, these two are now going to be even on track. So this will be a fun battle to watch, as the Captain Clapjack and Damon fight will be. Born Ready does retain that lead, though, through the first couple DRS zones. Looks like we do have a yellow flag. He's Dirty Asian. He may just be getting out of the way there. I think that's actually just a blue flag there. Nothing to be too concerned about. So, speaking of Born Ready, I actually do have the replay here of their battle coming into turn 4. Very nicely defended on the inside. Now, did he push him off the track? It was close. Now, given he was on the inside at the apex, wheel to wheel, he is entitled to that corner. Anyone going on the outside is inheriting all the risk there, so can't really blame Born Ready too much. Now, with that being said, on the live feed here, we do have Jazbo taking a shot back into the podium. So he gets it done into turn 3. Born Ready's not going to be able to do too much here. Didn't get quite the launch he wanted. He may have been defending the inside there. Now, at this point, it seems that Johnny Damon has held this lead for quite some time now. So the swapping back and forth has somewhat come to a halt here. Now, my guess would be is Clapjack is probably, you know, conserving a little bit of energy here, maybe looking to make a move later in the race. And indeed, it looks like he has a pretty healthy amount of battery. Johnny Damon, on the other hand, is running a bit low. He's certainly deploying a little bit more than Clapjack is to maintain that that P1 track position. And Damon at this point is going to be on the back foot if they keep this up. Plenty of time to get that charge back up, but with the DRS tow and the 65% battery, Clapjack's not looking too bad either. So far, both these racers have done everything right. They're both equally entitled to this race win today. It's just going to be exciting to see who pulls it off in the last few laps. LK hit with another time penalty, so him and the track limits are not getting along today. He's up to 15 seconds penalty. Certainly pushing the car hard, but maybe a little bit too hard for a track like Austria with such narrow margins. See Born Ready take another shot here at Jazbo coming around the final corner. He's going to have 3 back-to-back-to-back DRS zones to once again get it done. We do have another yellow flag. Looks like that might have been Dirty Asian again, just getting out of the way. Trying not to cause any drama coming from the back of the grid there. So Born Ready is going to go ahead and take the inside line tentatively. Gets it done. He makes it back out to the outside line, so we should get a pretty good launch coming out of turn 4. Jazbo's again going to go for the attack. It's just a back and forth battle of these two. There's really no definitive winner. Jazbo makes it onto the inside line. Maybe a little bit of contact there, but pretty clean racing. Born Ready maintains in P3. We're watching that fight unfold. Johnny Damon has now lost that position to Clapjack, although I'd imagine Clapjack actually has not deployed nearly as much battery as I kind of expected him to. They're both still sitting at a reasonable 50 or so %. And it looks like they're also going to be approaching some blue flag back markers here. I'm just going to go ahead and get right out of the way, let the top 2 continue to fight it out. No moves being done here. Here's another little quick replay of Jazbo and Born Ready just going back at it. Jazbo holds a really tight inside line, definitely playing it safe, but just can't quite get the exit when you're sitting when you're that inside on the track for turn 4. Excuse me, would that be turn 4? That'd be turn 5, I believe. No, it would be 4, excuse me. It's tough to get a good exit like that. Only issue with holding the inside line into turn 4. So it looks like Matthew falls down but behind LK. Again, LK holding those 15 seconds of penalty, so really not too much they can do. Besides just finish the race cleanly and they'll get beyond LK with no problem. So the back marker, Dirty, is certainly going to be, I believe that's Dirty Asian, maybe it's actually someone else. Doesn't look like that's their car. Oh, it's actually Sammy Cush. He's going to be enjoying a little bit of a DRS tow from the top two here. Not really interfering, just minding their own business, racing their own race. But nonetheless, still enjoying that nice DRS advantage. Looking to get back in the race. Now 8 seconds down behind 6char. Looks like Agog's going to make a move on the inside of Straggly Rex. He moves up to P6. Now, Agog is a full 4 seconds behind Peak Hour, but Peak Hour holds that 3-second time penalty. So Agog, very well, if he can keep up a good pace here, keeps it clean with Straggly, the two of them both could be competing for a P5 finish. Only about a second off when you factor in the penalties. And as I say that too, Peak Hour really isn't too far off of the P3 and P4 positions either. Johnny Damon makes a clean move into turn 3. Just going to take back over the lead. We're down to 6 laps here, sitting on lap 30. So time for a miracle intervention with a safety car is pretty limited for the drivers in the back. It's ultimately going to come down to track position and penalty. Only 6 laps to go. We're talking maybe 7 or 8 minutes here of final blows between these battles between Johnny Damon, Captain Clapjack. Of course, we have Born Ready and Jazzbo going back and forth still. Jazzbo does have the advantage once again over Born Ready. And there just really seems to be no space created between either of these duos over the course of this entire race. For almost now 40 minutes now, these guys have kept it as narrow as it comes. Straggly Rex, who had just recently gotten overtaken by Agog, is going to be looking to make another move up to P6 and tack on a couple extra points to their race finish. And as I mentioned before, with Agog now only 3.5 seconds behind Peak Hour, he holds a very good position. He's only looking at 0.5 of a difference to get into that P5 position, and once again just tack on a few more points for the driver as well as the team. Ready's going to get it done around the outside. He does go wide though, so he's going to go ahead and give that position up. May have braked a little bit late there. And with that being said, Jazzbo gets another DRS even out in front. Born Ready's not going to really have too many opportunities here until lap 32. So a lot of blue flags coming up. We do have, as I mentioned earlier in this race, with such a short track, and looks like we do have another incident of sorts. It may have been Agog or Straggly Rex. They may have made contact there, because now they fall 12 seconds behind Peak Hour, so their chances now of that P5 finish have pretty much disappeared. There must have been some contact that was made around turn 4. Agog, I'm just taking a look. No damage, no visible damage to the car. Certainly some sort of scuffle there. We'll certainly hear more later. Sammy Cush has DNF'd. So there is a yellow flag. It might be a little too late in the race for them to pull out a safety car. I'd be shocked to see one come out now. But it looks like Sammy Cush may have just disconnected and went ahead. Their AI just went ahead and parked the car, so they should be clear to go back on a green flag. So yeah, Sammy Cush just had enough for the day. Can't blame him there with only a few laps left. Maybe up 4 or 5 minutes of racing there. Not too great of a chance to move up. Captain Clapjack, while I was reviewing that incident, has received a 3-second penalty. Oh, and we do have contact. It was Johnny Damon into turn 4. May or may not be the cause of that incident. I couldn't quite see it. We'll watch the replay here shortly, but regardless, Captain Clapjack now has a 3-second time penalty. So he's fallen out of DRS range, and he's got the penalty. I'd say Johnny Damon, all he has to do is just run a few few relatively low-key laps around Austria here, and he's going to have himself race win number 2 of 2. Taking a quick look at this replay. So Johnny Damon tries for the... I don't know, excuse me, it must have been... It was Captain Clapjack who went for the inside. He locked up a little bit. Another caution in Sector 1 while we're reviewing that. Born Ready gets it done around Jazzbo. These two still going neck and neck. They're both on equal time penalties, so that's going to be a fun one to watch. Now that our two leaders have seemingly taken each other out of the race, so it was in fact Clapjack who went for the inside. And Johnny Damon may have just cut that inside line a little too hard. I wouldn't call it a blatant incident. More or less a racing incident there, but some really hard fighting through and through. I believe Captain Clapjack had received that 3-second time penalty before that incident, so I don't think it really would have mattered too awfully much. Now, Clapjack has now gained another second on Damon since then. It doesn't really matter, though, unfortunately. So we're finishing up here. This will be lap 35. Does Born Ready go for the move now, or play it conservative and wait for the final lap to get it done? Also, what kind of battery are we looking at here? Jazzbo and Born Ready, pretty equal battery, so no one has a clear advantage there. Born Ready is going to go ahead and go for it here on lap 35. He's going to go take the inside line. Quite easily get it done, actually. So now the pressure's on Jazzbo. Do you go for the move now and give Born Ready another 2 DRS zones to make a move, or you sit back patiently, maybe charge your battery up a little bit, and attack on the final lap? It's going to come down to who has the overall best pace here. And LK hit with another penalty, so he's now up to 25 full seconds. That's about a pit stop. A little bit over a pit stop, I'd imagine, of penalties. I'm certainly going to put him, well, actually right where he is now. Also, Jazzbo loses the car a little bit there. He certainly was trying to get a good exit there on lap 36. Loses the rear end of the car. Falls down now. He's still within DRS range, and he's letting that DRS rip, but he loses quite a bit of time there. May have been a little bit overly aggressive there onto the final penultimate turn 10, I should say. But he's going to go for it anyway. Jazzbo goes on the inside, and there's a switchback from Born Ready. He's going to take the final podium position as it stands. And he gets a DRS into turn 4. Born Ready's looking really good here. That was a hell of a move between the two of them. Clapjack gets another penalty, but it shouldn't really make too much of a difference there. Meanwhile, Agog makes a move. He gets past Straggly Rex, so some final lap shenanigans. People saving up their batteries, strategizing as needed, and it looks like Agog loses out on the exit there to Straggly Rex. Both of these guys sitting on no penalties. Straggly Rex is going to get the DRS into turn 4 as well. So Agog almost gets it done there, just doesn't quite have the launch. Loses a little bit of the rear out of turn 3. Johnny Damon finishes the race across the line here in P1. Very well done. Very minimal mistakes. Just a little bit of contact there with Clapjack. We'll have the stewards review that later. I don't think it was anything too blatant or it wasn't too egregious, that's for sure. Born Ready does go ahead and he finishes P3. Jazzbo close behind. Well-fought battle between the two of them. Peak Hour's going to go ahead and take the P5 position. Straggly Rex, very close photo finish there with Agog. I did not catch that. I assume there's no way that'd be overtaken there into 9 and 10. But Agog went for it there. 0.07 the difference between the two. So that was certainly down to the wire. More than I certainly expected. Quick replay here. So this was the move on the final lap. This was Clapjack going for the... Or excuse me, not Clapjack. This was Jazzbo going past Born Ready, but Born Ready makes the switchback move to get the DRS and the final podium position there. So Clapjack, still a great fight. Still a great fight. Really came down to last. I can't imagine. That must have been the last 4 laps at most. So still a good race for him. Great race for Damon. Again, Damon just showing up 2 weekends in a row. I see some comments he should be moving into Tier 1. We'd certainly welcome him there if he decides to indeed move up. Clapjack, though, with that P2, he has a 3-second difference here. Or, excuse me, 3-point difference between him and Born Ready. So that will actually narrow down the gap to 13 points, it would look like. So still a pretty successful weekend overall, finishing above Born Ready. Maybe didn't get the race win, but, again, taking away some of those points Born Ready has accumulated throughout the season so far. Johnny Damon gets the fastest lap on top of that overall number 1. He's going to take home 26 points. Jazzbo very close behind in P4. Almost got that podium position. Very well fought through and through. And the Straggly Rex Agog fight towards the end. The .07 photo finish. I just caught the very tail end of. I wish I caught that a little bit earlier. As per always, good racing, fellas. We will be back next week, same time. I can go ahead and pull up here what the schedule looks like. Not quite sure. Let me get the calendar out here. So next week is going to be Silverstone. Of course, all-time classic track. Tons and tons of opportunity for overtaking. Multiple race lines on, about half the track. That's going to be a fun one to watch. Everyone knows Silverstone. Everyone loves Silverstone. I don't know anyone who doesn't. That's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be fun to race. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks again, guys.